Ali Abdaal went from being an overworked doctor to building a digital empire with 6 million subscribers and a $105 million sales funnel. Ali didn't just pivot careers. He mastered the art of content and audience monetization better than almost anyone on the internet. And here's what's fascinating. Behind Ali's seemingly casual content lies one of the most sophisticated funnels in the creator economy. And today, I'm going to be breaking down exactly how it works. You'll discover the exact framework that took Ali from being an overworked medical doctor to a best-selling author and an 8-figure entrepreneur. This isn't just theory. It's an actual blueprint generating millions and millions of dollars in revenue each month that you can implement into your coaching and consulting business to skyrocket your growth. Let's break down the sales funnel that is behind every dollar of that 8-figure empire. First of all, the stuff he sells are his $20 book, $300 one-time payment, or $1,000 yearly Life OS productivity system. He gets money through his affiliates and sponsorships. He also sells a ghostwriter app called VoicePal for $10 a month. And then lastly, he sells the part-time YouTuber Academy for $1,000. We're going to get into exactly how these products play a part in his funnel in a second. So let's get into the phase 1 of traffic generation and nurture. So this module is going to be divided into 3 parts, which is first of all, getting people to know you, getting people to know and like you, and then finally getting people to know, like, and trust you. And there are 2 main platforms that Ali primarily uses to get people to know him, which are his Meta and Google ads, and then also his TikTok. First of all, let me get into his Google ads. All right, I'm on the Google Ads Transparency Center, and as you can see, Ali Abdaal Ltd, he has 12 ads, and interestingly, all of them are text ads. Now on Google, of course, text ads do just mean search engine discoverability ads. And if you don't know, recently Google has just been pushing their sponsorships. And secondly, these customers that are on Google searching for his product are already interested. So he can justify the extra costs because of the high conversions and the general high cost of his actual product. Now we're on the Meta Ads Transparency Center, and as you can see, he has a ton of ads. Now, I'm just going to be breaking down the first 3, but all you really need to know is that on Meta Ads, he promotes Life OS and a ton of lead magnets. So let's break down how he's actually structured these ads. Have an itch to finally start that YouTube channel that you've always wanted? Quick call to action just to get their attention. You're not alone. But whether your next milestone is to make your first video, land your first 1,000 subscribers, or grow your channel past all of its current plateau, it's best to tackle the milestone with a clear roadmap ahead. Tap the learn more button to take my free YouTube growth potential quiz for actionable insights, tips, and advice how to build your channel. Okay, super simple, super effective. Call to action gets the people he wants interested. You're not alone, validating them. Then saying this is basically effective for all of them. So whether your next milestone is to make your first video, land your first 1,000 subscribers, or grow your channel past its current plateau, that just means that he will help any audience that is in the YouTube space, as long as they're trying to grow their channel, no matter where they actually are. Then they get into it's best to tackle the milestone with a clear roadmap ahead, and then finally get into the call to action for the actual lead magnet. And the main goals of his Meta ads are to, first of all, grow his email list, and of course, sell his Life OS product. All right, now that we're done with breaking down his paid advertising, let's get into his TikTok strategy. So on TikTok, Ali has 315.7 thousand followers, and the main type of content he really posts are either clips from his long form videos, or he'll take the general topic of an entire long form video and just condense it into a short form video, just to put in as much value in as little amount of time as physically possible. And you probably know that TikTok will every once in a while make one of your videos randomly blow up, and that's what we're going for. We need that 1 in 10 video to absolutely explode. Just like with Ali right now, he has like 4,000, 5,000, 3,000, but then he gets a 12,000 video, then he gets a 14,000 video, and then sometimes he'll get 500,000 videos. It's really, really variable. On TikTok, the audience will just get to know Ali, and this will generally happen only when they watch a minimum of like 5 to 10 content pieces. So now that they've watched 5 to 10 of your TikToks, they'll probably know you at this point. And even if they don't, the beauty of a social media funnel is that anybody can get in at any point, and they can still easily be integrated into the funnel. That's why, for example, even if someone comes straight to his Instagram and discovers him on his Instagram without watching any of his TikToks, they'll still get to know Ali and still get nurtured just as much as if they were to watch his TikToks. So Ali's Instagram is way larger than his TikTok at 1 million followers. Before we get into the story highlights, let's go ahead and discuss what he actually posts. Now again, on Instagram, Ali will post a ton of educational content, as much value in as little time as physically possible. And you may be thinking, isn't this the same stuff that he posts on TikTok? And yeah, it is. But the thing that sets Instagram apart is that on Instagram, you can post a ton of snapshots from your life. That gets the audience to know you personally, build a deep connection with you as a course creator. Even if you don't post about your personal life, even your general post. For example, Alex Hormozi on his posts doesn't just do day-to-day. He also does motivational quotes. Sometimes he'll even repost his tweets. Just getting as much engagement from the audience and also getting them to build a connection with you. And now after they've seen a few of your posts, a few of your reels, they've gotten a little bit nurtured and they know you and like you, they're gonna check out your story highlights. Now in your story highlights, you'll probably have all of your products just like Ali has here. So Life OS, Part-Time YouTuber Academy, Life Notes, My Book, Voice Pal, and then just an introduction to his team. Now if you see all of these story highlights, you'll notice that all of his products have a separate meaning to them, so a separate purpose. Ali is so niche but so broad at the same time, and what I mean by that is that his market is in general people who are seeking to be more productive, but then he has a ton of micro niches in that big niche, which is the Life OS productivity system type of people, the people who want every single little bit of their life controlled to get as much out of it. Then you have the Part-Time YouTuber Academy, which appeals to YouTubers who want to grow their channels and want to learn how to be more productive just to do that. And then we have his book, which is just pertaining to general productivity systems. Once you see all these products, you'll basically understand which product do you want. Now let's say you're a YouTuber who's on a plateau right now. You want the Part-Time YouTuber Academy. But you're not exactly going to fork over $1,000 to a random guy you just met off the internet and just saw his Instagram. No, you need to get to know Ali much better. So for now, you disregard it and move on to his YouTube. Check out his long form content. Now on his long form content, there's two paths that the viewer can take. Now let's say they like audio form content much more than video form content. They're going to go ahead and check out his podcast. But we'll get into the podcast later. For now, we're going to break down his actual main channel. So here's his YouTube channel and he has 6.3 million subscribers. And right away, you can tell there's a glaring disparity between his subscriber count and the amount of views he's getting per video. Like 100,000 views, 69,000 views, 45,000 views. That is nothing for someone who has 6.5 million subscribers. How come? Well, that's again coming back to his micro niche plus large niche strategy. Since Ali has so many micro niches that want different things from him, each of those micro niches will watch a specific video tailored for them. So for example, business people will watch how to finally start your first business, but general productivity people will watch the triage system video, and maybe people who want to save time will watch the AI video. So now you can tell how this audience can really be skewed in a ton of directions. Only a few set of people watch each type of video, and that's actually really integral to this funnel. The main thing that Ali is doing here is nurturing and authority building. Nurturing meaning you want them to see your face as much as physically possible, and that's how you accomplish it, through 20 to 30 minute long form videos, preferably educational videos so you can build authority as well, but lifestyle videos work as well. And after they've gotten to know, like, and trust you, no matter where they've come from at this point, if they've watched any of your social medias, they know, like, and trust Ali. Now they're at a crossroads. They might want to check out his podcast, or they might actually not want to check out his podcast. Either way, the funnel keeps working. Just for the video's sake, I'll break down the podcast too. And the podcasts are really basic, just like any other podcast. We want to further nurture the audience with these 1 to 2 hour videos, and we want to build a ton of authority. All right, now that our viewer has gone through our entire funnel, whether or not they watch the podcast, at the end of the traffic generation phase, they're going to be led straight to Ali's book. Now, when the viewer sees the book, it's called Feel Good Productivity. And the main goal of the book is to do product promo throughout it. It also acts as a gateway into his other products. Now, that's the biggest use of this book. So the person so far has trusted Ali enough to buy his $20 book. Now that he's bought the $20 book and he gets a ton of value from the $20 book as fast as physically possible, he's going to feel a ton of trust because he touched the stove, he didn't get burned. Meaning he bought the product, he got a ton of value, he didn't get scammed. So in the future, even if Ali tries to sell him a $1,000 product, he is 10 times more likely to buy that product after he's bought a book than he is without the book. And then lastly, of course, the book acts as a big income source since he pushes it so much across all his social medias. Now that we got a ton of eyeballs and presumably got those eyeballs to buy a book, we're going to move on to interested lead generation. And the way we're going to do this is through tons of lead magnets. These lead magnets can be anything. So for example, all you use is subscribe to Life Notes. So Life Notes is going to be a free newsletter that he gives once a week, just a ton of productivity tips. If you give enough value, they will not opt out of your email marketing. That's why lead magnets work. And of course, now that he's gotten your email through all of his lead magnets, he's going to market to you. We're going to move on now to phase 3, interested lead conversion. The way we're going to do this is through email and his website. Email being the primary source of conversions. So he will use a ton of drip emails. Drip emails meaning emails that are few and far between. So building a bit of artificial scarcity, making his emails feel like they're much more valuable than they actually are. In these drip emails, he will add in stories, frameworks, and course recommendations. Course recommendations just means buy my course. Now, the basic email framework that he follows is value, proof, pitch, or the storytelling framework. Now, the value proof pitch framework is basically the father of all email frameworks, most basic one, but it works really well. So he'll give a ton of value. He'll show you social proof, either testimonials from student success stories or his own success story, and also a pitch at the end. Or he'll do a storytelling email. A storytelling email is an email that is just telling you the entire story. So this will be a student success story or his own personal story. And then after a few emails, the prospect will go straight to his website. Of course, his website is pretty basic. It'll have a bit of an introduction of who Ali is, the simple secret formula to 100,000 plus subscribers, want to succeed on YouTube without giving up all your spare time. I love all of this stuff. He'll recap his entire story in this first little part. He builds a little bit of relatability, since sometimes you can put influencers on pedestals and we do not want that for ourselves. Then after he tells you the whole story and what the product can do for you, he's going to put in a ton of social proof. And I love it because it's a mix of social proof in text form, a visual representation with the graph, and then a video testimonial, which I don't know why it's blacked out here, but there is usually a video testimonial. Then at the end, after you've seen all the social proof, you'll see PTY has clearly worked for other creators, but will it work for me? Then he's going to set expectations. It's not a magic bullet and it's not a get rich quick scheme. Then he's going to cover who the course is not for. This is just going to cut out any of the people who are not going to put in the effort or the time or something like that. And then he's going to make the people who are going to put in the effort and are actually fitting into these criteria feel special. Okay, I get it, what's actually in the course, just covering the entire core value proposition in a very, very condensed format. And then he's going to also cover a full roadmap of what happens, because the confused prospect does not buy. So you want them to know exactly what's going to happen throughout the course, when it's going to happen, and how it's going to happen. And then finally is going to be the $1,000 CTA. And then at the end of the website, 3 free bonuses. And 3 is the sweet spot where it makes it feel believable and valuable at the same time. And that's exactly how Ali's $100 million funnel runs so smoothly. So as a quick reminder, we broke down what he sells, then we broke down how he actually gets traffic through TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, as well as paid ads. Then we broke down what role his book plays in the funnel as a gateway. Then we broke down his lead magnets and how they help in generating interested leads. And then we moved on to how his email sequences and also his website convert those interested leads into actual customers. Hope you got a ton of value from that video and understand the nitty-gritty of how Ali Abdaal's funnel works. If you're interested in working with me, go ahead and DM me down below on Instagram. And if you want to see a good landing page, go ahead and check out mine down below. You can copy it, doesn't really matter to me. And if you're not interested in doing any of that, go ahead and click on this video right here because YouTube thinks you will like it. Peace.